hypocrisy. You're the threat to free and honest elections.
9 o'clock at night. The secretary's family's inside. Protesters have surrounded her home, and they're chanting that she's a felon. And as we saw, when armed protesters showed up to follow President Trump's direction to stop the steal, this was not the first time that President Trump's supporters used threats and intimidation. President Trump cannot say, I didn't know what I was inciting. From what Manager Castro showed and what I just showed, there was plenty of evidence that his words had consequences. And if he wanted to stop it, he could stop it. You saw Mr. Castro read statement after statement from our commander-in-chief saying, stop the count, stop the steal. President Trump was never shy about using his platforms to try and stop something.
Are we done with
He could have very easily told his supporters, stop threatening officials, stop going to their homes, stop it with the threats.
Became a little less so
But each time, he didn't.
Seems a fracas broke
Instead,
out there.
in the face of escalating violence, he incited them
Colored
further.
couple was moving into one of them new
The next phase in the
duplexes coming out that
certification
way.
results
But with all
was the
the
certification on
violence going
December 14 of the Electoral College votes. The night before, President Trump personally issued 14 Twitter statements with more false claims about the election being stolen and directing his supporters to make sure that, quote, they cannot be certified.
Next morning, colored
He
family
states
moved out,
here, the rhinos,
presumably to a place over
the
in Ohio.
rhinos that run the state
isn't the
voting
first time
apparatus have
someone
caused
lit
us
up
the
a cross
problem of
on the
allowing the
road.
Democrats to
And it
so
won't be the
blatantly
last.
cheat in their attempt
I'm
to steal
not
the
condoning
election,
it, mind you,
which we
Yes, you are,
This
bitch.
fire isn't Southdown's
We will
fire.
never give up.
It's not New Bordeaux's fire.
In the face
Vince Johnson.
of threats to elected officials, this is his
the
message.
Civil Rights Act. This
He calls
president
them
threw on
rhinos,
more fuel with
Republicans
the
in name
passage of
only,
his Fair Housing
and
Act.
tells them to never give up.
Fair?
President Trump
How is this fair to the people in
To him,
Southdowns? How
it
is
was
this
his supporters
fair to the
against
colored
anyone
family?
who would not overturn the election results so that President Trump
Sound
should win.
familiar?
But on December
Away
14,
from a community.
despite all of
Choosing
President
who you
Trump's
get to
efforts
live
to
next door
stop,
to.
the
What your
electors
neighborhood
cast
looks
their
like.
votes according to the
Those
will of the
are
American people,
basic freedoms.
and Joe Biden
Suburban.
was certified as
we got
having
a
won
killer running around this
306
city.
electoral
Suburbs.
college votes.
Police, God bless them, are doing their
The
best
day
to
after
fight,
this
but it's an
occurred,
open
Leader
secret that he's
McConnell
colored.
recognized
He's a
this,
veteran.
stating,
He's very
many of
skilled
us
at
hoped
what he
that the
does.
presidential election would
Many
yield a
of the
different
folks he's
result.
killed are point of fact.
But our system of government has processes
And no
to
one is
determine
saying
who will
that
be sworn in on
all
January
colored
20th.
folks are capable of
The
inciting this
Electoral
kind of
College has
monstrousness.
spoken.
But the rest,
As Manager Castro said,
they are
no one
susceptible.
here, no one among us wants to
Your
lose an
average
election.
colored can get swept up
Sometimes
in
there's a reason to dispute an
away.
election. Sometimes
And I
the
hate
count
to
is
put it
close.
this way, but they
Sometimes
just
we ask for a
don't know
recount
any better.
or we go to court.
This
That's
violence
entirely
spreads.
appropriate.
There's no clearer
But what
picture of this than
President
the
Trump
death
did
of
was
Reverend Dr.
different.
King.
What President
I
Trump
won't
did was
speak
the
ill of
polar
dead.
opposite of what
Louisiana
any of
had
us
its
would do.
challenges with the doctor once
if
or
we
twice,
lost an
but
election.
let's move on.
Because
This
once
man
the
preached
outcome is clear and a judge rules,
non-violence.
we concede.
So
We
what happened after
recognize the
he
will
died?
of the American people.
Oh, we definitely
Because we
saw
let the
some
people
violence
decide.
as news of his death
And
spread.
that's what all
What
it is.
happens the next time our city's
And the
colored
50
folks get
states.
worked up about something and they spread out in other neighborhoods?
They said it was
You
time
wanna see
for a
Luton
peaceful
downtown?
transition of power, because that's what our
Riots in the French
Constitution
Fort?
and rule
Hey,
of
how
law
about a fire
demands.
in Irish Point? They can't
Except
help it.
President Trump.
Which
Ain't that a
brings us
bitch?
back
He
to
directed
Southdowns.
all of the rage
What
that
happened
he had
there?
incited to
Who could
January
say this was
6th.
an overreaction on the
That
part
was
of
his
the
last
white
chance to
community
stop
there?
the peaceful
This
transition.
Oh,
was
it's the
friction
niggas
created
for.
by forcing fairness on the
And
white
that brings us to the
and
attack.
colored people. That's what you saw.
Castro told you the
We can
power
get
of the
along.
lie.
That
Especially
doesn't
when the
mean
lie
we need
comes
to be
from the
living
most
side
powerful
by
person in
side.
the world.
A white
the
man has the
commander-in-chief.
right to keep his
It
family
also
safe.
helps if you spend millions
That
of
first
dollars to
burning
amplify
cross
that
in
lie.
Southdowns, that
You'll
is
see
a
here-
fire that will spread
In mid-December,
from one home to another.
President Trump announced the release of ads, including ones entitled, "The evidence is overwhelming.
Wherever you live,
Fraud.
wherever we see
Stop
this
the steal."
forced integration,
He spent $50 million
things
from his legal
will
defense
happen.
fund on these ads. to stop the steal and amplify his
These
message.
things will happen.
They were released nationally, played in video ads,
Until
online
next time,
advertising,
dear
and
listener.
targeted text messages.
Racist
They
bastard.
used the same words and phrases that President Trump had been spreading for months, that the election was full of fraud, to stop the steal. But now they had a specific purpose. How do we know that purpose? These ads were designed to run all the way up to January 5, and then they stopped. This was purposeful and deliberate
I got a lot of
planning
money on
to
me.
target his base
And
to
I got
rally
no
around
ammo.
that
I'm in
day.
Tick-4. Just about out of
And it
everything.
wasn't just his ads.
I'm in Tick-4.
He continued to use his own platform. He told his supporters, who truly believed their victory had been stolen and who were ready to fight, when, where,
Need
and
to make
how
a deposit, sugar?
to stop what he
Going
believed was a
straight to
steal.
the bank.
Show me what you got. Guess what?
Donald Trump would issue a deliberate call to action. And just like in his ads, that action centered around January 6th. On December 19th,
Call me if you need me.
at 1:42 in the morning, our commander-in-chief tweeted, "Big protest in D.C. on January 6th. Be there. Will be wild. Will be wild." We know why he picked this day. It wasn't random. It was his last chance to stop a peaceful transition to power. And he gave his supporters plenty of time to
By the
plan.
harbor. Need a supply run.
This was the
No,
same
no,
day
cancel.
sent out 18 days before the event on January 6th. And it wasn't a casual one-off reference or a single invitation. For the next 18 days, Donald Trump would make sure to remind them over and over
No, we don't.
and over to show up on January 6th. And he would tell them exactly what he wanted them to do. On December 26th, he tweets, "If a Democrat presidential candidate had an election rigged and stolen, with proof of such acts at a level never seen before, the Democrat senators would consider it an act of war and fight to the death. Mitch and the Republicans do nothing, just want to let it pass. No fight." He's saying that the Republicans are doing nothing and have no fight because you are doing your job, taking on the constitutional process of certifying the Electoral College results.
Good timing. Done.
And he also suggests, President Trump, that if this was the reverse and the Democrats had lost,
I'm out of here.
it would be an act of war. An act of war. That's how Donald Trump prepared his supporters for January 6th. He even stated again 14 minutes later to make sure his supporters understood, quote, "The Justice Department and the FBI have done nothing about the 2020 presidential election voter fraud, the biggest scam, all caps, in our nation's history despite overwhelming evidence. They should be ashamed." And then he adds, "History will remember. Never give up. See everyone in D.C. on January 6th. That phrase, history will remember, was the only time, the first time, Donald Trump had used it in his presidency. And he sent this to 70+ million Twitter followers the day they needed to show up and be ready to fight. On December 27, he reminds them again, don't miss it. Information to follow. A few days later, December 30, all caps, see you in D.C.
You see that fucker?
This continues all the way up to January 6th. On January 1, he states, the big protest rally in Washington will take place at 11 a.m. Locational details to follow. Stop the steal. You'll see that an hour later, President Trump retweeted one of his Twitter followers. That follower was Kylie Kremer, Executive Director of Women for America First, the group organizing the January 6th rally and the creator of the Facebook group Stop the Steal. Kremer tweeted, quote, "The cavalry is coming, Mr. President," referring to the cavalry showing up on January 6th. She also added a website for supporters to RSVP and made clear what the message was. Hashtag Stop the Steal. And what did President Trump say in response to hearing that the cavalry was coming? "A great honor," he wrote back. This wasn't just a single tweet. He and his organizers would do this over and over repeatedly. On January 3, another supporter tweets, "We have been marching all around the country for you, Mr. President. Now we will bring it to D.C. on January 6th and proudly stand beside you. Thank you for fighting for us." When President Trump reposted her tweet, she wrote back, "Best day ever. Thank you for the retweet. It has been an honor to stand up and fight for you and our nation. We will be standing strong on January 6th in D.C. with you. We are bringing the cavalry, Mr. President. We are bringing the cavalry." That was the consistent message. This was not just any old protest. President Trump was inciting something historic. The cavalry was coming. And he was organized. In her post,
This is the way you die.
Miss Lawrence tagged Kylie Kremer, the organizer of the event, whose post we just saw President Trump retweet. Again, you see, this is all connected. I want to show you all of the Twitter statements, and there are a lot. But here's one more. President Trump retweeted another of Ms. Kremer's posts, which had all the details of January 6th, with the same hashtags. March for President Trump, do not certify, stop the steal. And in response, President Trump, he writes back, "I will be there. Historic day." Before Congress, I prosecuted violent crimes in California as an Alameda County Deputy District Attorney. And when you investigate and prosecute violent crimes, you have to distinguish. Was this a heat of passion crime? Or was it something more deliberate, planned, premeditated? The evidence here on this count is overwhelming. President Trump's conduct leading up to January 6th was deliberate, planned, and premeditated. This was not one speech, not one tweet. It was dozens in rapid succession with the specific details. He was acting as part of the host committee. In fact, when he had assembled his inflamed mob in D.C., he warned us that he knew what was coming. This was President Trump's statement the night before the attack. I should say this was one of his dozens of statements on Twitter in the hours leading up to the attack. I hope the Democrats, and even more importantly, the weak and ineffective rhino section of the Republican Party, are looking at the thousands of people pouring into D.C. They won't stand for the landslide victory to be stolen. At Senate Majority Leader, at John Cornyn, at Senator John Thune. Thousands of people pouring into D.C. who won't stand for the landslide election to be stolen. It's all right there. And he tags senators to pressure you to stop this. And he warns all of us that his thousands of supporters, whom you'll see that the FBI had warned were armed and targeting the Capitol, won't stand for us certifying the results of the election. This was never about one speech. He built this mob over many months with repeated messaging until they believed that they had been robbed of their vote and they would do anything to stop the certification. He made them believe that their victory was stolen and incited them so he could use them to steal the election for himself.
The
This election was rigged.
It's a tyranny against the people of the United States, and we are
Can't have it,
standing for
bitch.
anymore.
If we don't root out the fraud, the tremendous and horrible fraud that's taken place in our 2020 election, we don't have a country anymore. The left lies, they cheat and they steal. They are ruthless and they're hell-bent on getting power.
Definitely not yellow, bro.
Means necessary.
Oh, okay, hello. And she flattened my car. My poor Jeep, bro.
Can't let it happen. The Democrats are trying to steal the White House. You cannot let them.
Can't let it happen. Never concede. Fight. He told them in speech after speech. These crowds were ready to fight. This is what President Trump was inciting. He foresaw what was coming, and this is what he deliberately led to our doorstep on January 6th.
Historic landmarks like the
I want
Mystic
to be
and the
clear.
800 Club will be
During this
offering
trial,
discount drink
when
specials
we talk
Monday
about the
through
violent
Thursday,
mob during the attack,
every week.
we do not
Can you
mean
believe
every
that?
American who showed up
And if you
at
see me
President
out
Trump's
and about,
rally.
just say hello.
Certain
I
Americans
might
came to
just buy
protest
you a
peacefully,
whiskey.
as is their
Only
right.
in the French War.
That is what makes our country so great, to debate freely, openly, and peacefully our differences. Just
I
like
got a
all
hint
of
from
you
the
are
device
attempting
you
to
put on
do
Frank
in this
Pagani's
very
car,
room
which means
on
he's back
January
in town.
6th. But what President
pretty
Trump
excited
did
to make
was
your
different.
acquaintance. I bet he is.
He didn't tell his supporters to fight
Signal's clean,
or
so you
be
can take it
strong
from
in a
here.
casual
Just use the
reference.
tracker I gave
He
you.
repeatedly,
Catch you later.
over months, told them to fight for a specific purpose. He told them their victory was stolen, the election was rigged, and their patriotic duty was to fight to stop the steal. And he repeated this messaging even after he saw the violence it was inciting. And when they were primed and angry and ready to fight, he escalated and channeled their rage with a call to arms. Show up on January 6th at the exact time the votes of the American people were being counted and certified, and then march to the Capitol and fight like hell. He told this to thousands of people who were armed to the teeth, targeting us and determined to stop the Electoral College count. What our commander-in-chief did was wildly different from what anyone here in this room did to raise election concerns. This was a deliberate, premeditated incitement to his base to attack our Capitol while the counting was going on. And it was foreseeable, especially to President Trump, who warned us he knew what was coming. This is what the evidence has overwhelmingly shown and will show in this trial. And it's also the truth.
Looks like the place.
Mr. President,
The majority leader.
I ask unanimous consent the Senate recess for a 15-minute break.
Without objection, so ordered.
A 15-minute break in the day's evidence being presented by House managers. We have been listening to the first set of arguments made today from the House impeachment managers prosecuting the case against Donald Trump. For 2 hours, the Democrats have laid out before the Senate a relentless crush of first-hand evidence, presenting the January 6th attack on the Capitol as premeditated. The star witness was Donald Trump himself. His words presented in video, in tweets, so many of his own words, as well as first-hand accounts of his supporters, all of it helping to draw a direct line between Donald Trump's big lie about election fraud that never existed, the anger it stoked, and the violence that went down at the Capitol on January 6th. Joining our conversation, we start with NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Garrett Haig. Garrett, I noticed you tweeted about the conduct of some of the members who were not paying attention. Tell us about what Josh Hawley was doing.
Well, I think that was one of the sort of two main takeaways from the last hour. Again, the intractable nature of trying to get some of the folks in the room to actually engage with the material and be present and take this seriously. Josh Hawley, who's made his disdain for this process abundantly clear in public comments, is doing the same thing in the chamber. All the senators have the option to use the gallery, the upstairs area, for seating for social distancing. Josh Hawley is the only one taking advantage of that opportunity. He's been sitting with his legs up on the seat in front of him, essentially reading non-related material. In the 20 minutes or so I was in the chamber just now, I didn't see him look down really at all to engage with any of the conversation that was going on the floor, although some of my colleagues who were in the chamber afterwards said there were a few moments, notably talking about some of the individuals who were actually charged with crimes related to this, in which he did engage, but making his feeling about these entire proceedings pretty clear.
Garrett Haake, what is the impact among those who are paying attention of Donald Trump's own words? And it seems
wow, this is the first time this shit happened when I played this game.
It's to erase any doubt that Donald Trump, by retweeting and amplifying the calls for violence from his supporters,
I always gotta chase them down.
Things were heading on January 6th.
I never did anything. Yeah, look, the House managers are able to do something I struggle to do every day up here. That's get Republican senators to admit they've seen the tweets. I mean, this has been an ongoing battle on Capitol Hill for the last 4 years with Republican lawmakers who have engaged in some ways with a Donald Trump of their own imagining, or the Donald Trump that they wished was president. And what we've seen over the last couple hours were these impeachment managers forcing them to grapple with the Donald Trump who was president and who campaigned for that office and started this timeline towards incitement in the argument of the managers months before the actual attack on January 6th. And I think in that way, it appears, at least, you know, it's always hard to judge, but until somebody actually casts a vote, that these arguments are effective to remind that these lawmakers, who in many cases went to great lengths to avoid engaging with everything that the former president had to say, they didn't say these things. And that just the speech on January 6th is not what's on trial here. It's the long, months-long buildup that created the possibility of that moment. And I think that's what the managers were focusing on those tweets for. You know, to me, a layman, skillfully, again, we'll see if, you know, Republican lawmakers are willing to engage with it now.
I want to ask you something else personal, Garrett Haake, and you've spoken in some personal terms. One of the most powerful moments of the morning again delivered by Congressman Jamie Raskin, who quoted police officers who, after protecting the building and fighting for their own lives, crumbled into tears and said, what the F was that? Is this America? That seemed to be the question on the table for everyone in that building.
Nah, nigga.
I think that's
Shut
right.
up.
And, you know, I was here on the 6th and was one of the first people to get permission to go back into the Capitol once they reopened it, and seeing those police officers resting on their body armor in the same hallways where I talked to lawmakers was a powerful thing for me to see. And I think grappling with that is the kind of thing that could potentially make this more real for the senators acting as a jury here. I mean, the Capitol Police, you know, these are people you know, right? These are people who you see at the same doors every day, who you see working the same shifts. You know, you might have the same, you pick up the same conversation kind of every day when you go through the metal detector, and to, you know, dismiss the broader politics of this in ways that some of the Republican senators have tried to do, discounts the experience of, you know, these people who are paid to defend them.
That's right.
Make no mistake, this is Congress's private police force, essentially. Their number one job is to defend the members, and to discount their experience asks for yet another level of dissociation from everything that happened up there.
Garrett, I'm not going to goodbye you, but if you have to goodbye us to go do some reporting, we will not be offended. Stick around. I want to bring into our conversation my colleague and friend, Katie Tur. Katie, I just remember so distinctly you were on the air broadcasting these events in real time. But what the House managers seem to have done was to take that feeling of the live events as they're unfolding and really interspersed all of Trump's social media conduct, all of his public statements, and all of what's in the public record in terms of how he goosed this, how he egged it on, how he was complicit, how he enjoyed it and reveled in it. And I wonder what it's like for you to see all of Trump's comments and tweets and statements folded into what
For the time being, I
on
can live
live
with it.
TV while you were
We're
anchoring.
done for now.
Well, Nicole, you
gotta live with it, bitch.
To talk about how Donald Trump was priming his supporters for a rigged election
Nito,
back when he
you
thought
mean
that he
I'm
wasn't
mute.
going to
Be
win
easy,
that
B.
election. The House managers didn't do that. They didn't go quite that far. Of course, he won 2016, so it didn't become relevant. But they did go back and show all the statements that he made and what he was doing to, as you said, prime his supporters.
Look, I gave you some names
to believe
and I'm
that if
paying
he
you to chase
lost,
them
it
down, so
wasn't
don't give me any of
fair,
that
and
bullshit.
to leave open the question
Yeah.
what his supporters
Okay,
would do
just get it
if
done.
that were the case. And they
Right,
also
sometimes I
mentioned
think you want something done right. You all right?
The night, Sammy was so happy. Happier than I ever seen him. That money was supposed to get all of us out from under Marcano. Motherfucker!
What the hell did Frank tell you?
Marcano had us rob the reserves so he could get his hand on a set of money plates. Georgie must have grabbed him during the robbery. I should have been paying attention.
We already had this conversation. None of this is your fault.
Like hell it isn't.
Sal is a cancer, a leech. He had always intended to fuck all of you. Christ, look what he did to Vito. He murdered your family. The only way to make that right is by killing every cocksucker who's ever looked at that piece of shit.
That's right.
Give me some of that bourbon. According to Pagani, Marcano couldn't print the money himself, so he had a Cuban counterfeiter named Alvarez brought in. What do we know about South Dallas?
Tommy Marcano isn't the kind of guy who shits where he eats, so his rackets are pretty low-key. He runs a sports book and has a place where he stores his contraband.
Tommy's got to know that I'm coming after Alvarez, so he's probably got him holed up in or near one of those places. One way or another, I'll get my hands on him. I'll be damned if I let Marcano print a single fucking dollar from one of those plates.
Well, my fault I can't find my car, lady.
Welcome back, dear listener.
You hold on now, that's my line. Oh, dear listener, we are back with this city's own Senator Walter Jacobs. Now, Senator Jacobs...
before the break, I didn't know if you'd be able to speak. You were so worked up.
Well, can you blame me? I mean, my God, this Styron character. I just have to wonder who he thinks he is.
You're absolutely right, Remy.
Come again?
Bourbon City. You are witnessing history in the making. Remy Duvall is at a loss for words.
Well, in all my days, I never thought I'd hear Senator Walter Jacobs, the pit bull of the Paris, say the words, "You're right, Remy."
Well, it happens on it.
Oh, not very often, though.
No. Now listen, I think this book, The Confessions of Nat Turner by William Stout, I don't know. We got to that argument by some of our more liberal constituents that this bill should be taught in our schools.
They claiming it's their First Amendment right to teach it.
Yeah, well, the First Amendment allows us freedom of speech, but it doesn't. We're obligated to expose our young people to this kind of trash.
Exactly.
Now, parents should have more say on the matter than some teacher or East Coast educated bureaucrat. Especially books that teach such self-loathing and revulsion for the people of the South.
That right there, I think that's what caused me the most agitation. You know, the notion that we're somehow keeping these young people from new ideas.
Yeah.
What about protecting them from bad
That's
ideas?
right.
It comes down to this socialistic type of thing is what I mean. I agree. Why does white Christian America have to become the whipping boy for every half-baked idea and perversion of history out there? Huh? I can't think of anything more dangerous than manufacturing sympathy for a killer like Nat Turner.
That's right.
And then exposing that kind of thinking to young people? Oh, in the first place, it's irresponsible. And in the other, beyond telling white young men and women that they're somehow the villains in history, what do you think it says to colored youth to get hold of this garbage? What's going to happen to the head of a colored student sitting across from a white student in one of these newly integrated schools after he's read about the wild-eyed exploits of a murdering slave?
That feels deliberate, don't it?
Yes, it does. And that's a trick of the intellectual establishment. Since they've christened it as some kind of masterpiece, they also get to paint any dissent from the people who actually...
Same people bitching about 1619. Same shit.
Intellectual divide they created.
Twice in one day.
I love this game.
Amazing, I know.
Abandoned search and return to
Yes,
patrol.
it sometimes
Repeat,
feels
pursuit
like
is
they
called
don't
off.
care how
Abandoned
we
search
live.
and return to patrol.
How we've gotten along side by side without having to be on top of one another.
That's our senator, dear listener. I want y'all to remember this is the kind of issue you voting on in November.
Make your voice heard.
That's right. Make them all heard. Until next time, dear listener.
Yellowstone's last. If that hardware is good enough for all soldiers, it's good enough for me. That's what God does.
No colors allowed. Okay. Pretty much. Shut the fuck up. Straight robbing your racist ass.
You ever heard of Enzo Conti?
Sammy mentioned him a time or two.
He's 61, old school mob. Been running Barclay Mills for decades. He started off extorting the railroad and moved on into industrial waste. All the heavy construction equipment and supplies for the casino, steel, concrete molds, that kind of thing, was all brought in via Enzo's trains.
All that shit has to be worth millions. Enzo didn't just hand it over to any cat who walked in the door. Marcano's a felon, so he's got to have a partner, someone who's legit.
If he does, that person's buried deep. I went through the paperwork. It's a goddamn maze.
Which means we need to get Enzo to tell us who it is.
According to my sources, Enzo's not a big fan of the casino. Thinks anyone who's not Sal Marcano's gonna end up getting fucked.
So I might be able to use that to flip him.
Probably have to squeeze him pretty hard, but it's worth a shot. He's still involved in the railroad and has to store all that industrial waste somewhere, so I'd start there.
Once I take his district from him, I'll give him a call from the motel, offer him an out.
And if that fails, you could always give him a Hanoi hangman.
way to do it. His own words, his own tweets. You know, this is the guy. But remember, we were told at the beginning that his tweets were official government statements, right? So this is not something, oh, okay, I'm just kind of in my room at 2 in the morning, you know, with nothing to do. This is official pronouncement by the sitting president of the United States. Here's the other part, though, that you see these managers doing subtly, and I suspect that
look who it is. Good to see you up and breathing, Connie.
Fuck, man. It got kind of crazy when you was taking over the warehouse in River Road, but I got out all right.
Heard you know something about the Barclay train yard.
Yep. This is more independent likes between the two of us. That friend of yours in the nice tan suit figured you need eyes and ears on Pete Santini's shipping operation.
What's Santini up to?
He's a protection man here in Barclay. You want to see whatever you put on a train end up where it's supposed to be? You gotta pay Pete's people.
Sounds kind of small time for one of Marcano's outfits.
Give the man a prize. Ever wonder why this city's got so many guns? Marcano and Enzo got Santini running them. You bust up them deals and you put the hurt on Pete's business.
All right. I'll see about getting my hands on that map. I'm seeing you.
You know the drill. Lean on Santini's people, see what they got to say.
We need to move!
Oh shit.
Expected. This was a mistake. I don't want any trouble.
Someone told me you work at the dump, that you might have information for me. Now, your name's Maria, right?
Mm-hmm. Maria Bava. I've only been at the dump a couple of months. Accounts receivable. I know. Glamorous. Paul Simmons runs the place. Everybody calls him Puppy, though. You've got to stop him.
Stop him from doing what?
Dumping waste in the bay, extorting drivers from other garbage companies, but
that's not the worst thing they're doing, is it?
Mister, they're killing people. Puppy, Mr. Simmons doesn't know how to keep his boys down on the phone, but he was arguing with one of the cleaners, kept saying how they've been paid to get rid of somebody.
You know when these cleaners will be around?
No, but some of the other guys who work for the dump might.
I'll chase down information on these cleaners, along with the rest of the dump's business. It's gonna be all right, Maria. You did the right thing.
Some of Mr. Simmons' people might know more about the illegal dumping. And the bars. Guess what they say about being the pastor's daughter is true.
Hey, hey. How you doing?
Huh?
advance the factual coincide. You said the star witness is Donald Trump. And it is. And somehow
There we go.
the best witness you have, especially when they're
These colored men need to be chasing around white women. Who's gonna want their black asses anyway? I just don't agree.
That's right. Let the men do them. Let the women do them. They like who they like.
How your day been? Fucking trains rattling around and gonna wreck my ears.
Use mine. You can give them back later.
Huh? Why? This guy's coming for us.
You work for Santini. I want to know what he's up to.
Mr. Santini's been doing some small-time gun sales. I know where he's been stashing the money.
Shit's turned bad. Send everyone.
Beyond out, I call the shots.
That black bitch is mine. This is the way you die. Got him. Oh, you're bloody. I've been waiting all day for this.
Ah! Freak! I got my info though, but still. At least the car's fixed.
Snakes, skulls, pins and dolls, and of course, curses. That's right. It's all about voodoo. This is the Hollow Speak. Like any other good newborn donation, I do everything I can to avoid the tourist trap that is the French Wall. But last week I found myself down there grabbing a po' boy and catching a show. What I also caught was shots dealing in what they call the real voodoo. Now, I've seen these places for years. Nothing new. But for whatever reason, this time I saw them with fresh eyes. And what I saw was promises of love, money, and 100 ways to keep your dick hard. Like this candle, keep that gree-gree bag close. Put this pin in that dial. Easy fixes for all your problems. Except for one little thing. Isn't fixing shit, folks. Only thing it's doing is putting green in the pockets of the shopkeeper. But in the end, it's empty, pointless. And that ain't the voodoo I know. Voodoo, or as our Haitian family refers to it, voodoo is a religion grounded in history. It's about connecting and staying connected with our ancestors, our roots. Today there's a movement in the holler to reconnect with this traditional Haitian voodoo. Some of y'all might be wondering why. Those of you who don't, I got music right around the corner, so relax. August 14th, 1791. A night not that different than this one. A group of Haitian slaves participated in a voodoo ceremony in a place known as Bois-Caïman. They dedicated themselves to one thing: freedom. 1 week later, over 1,000 slave owners were dead, and Haiti was on its way to independence. Of course, the irony is that those same events led many slave owners to flee Haiti, dragging their slaves along with them. And where do you think they all ended up? Yep, right here in New Bordeaux. Now, since arriving in New Bordeaux, the slaves, our ancestors, had their voodoo faith quite literally beaten out of them. And if it wasn't beaten out, it was at least beaten down, underground. But these slaves, being the smart motherfuckers they were, adapted. They synchronized the voodoo spirits, the Loire, with the Catholic saints. Dambala was represented by St. Patrick, Papa Negra by St. Lazarus. So the dipshit slave owners would walk in, see a photo of St. Patrick or St. Lazarus or whoever, and feel good about themselves. Their heathen slaves had finally found God. But in reality, they were continuing their traditions as usual, hiding in plain sight. Told you they were smart. So tonight, I sit here wondering how many fighters are out there hiding in plain sight. How many of you are willing to look back and reconnect with a past you may have never known? There's a revolution going on here in New Bordeaux. Time for each of you to pick a side. Of course, you could choose to turn a blind eye to what we're saying tonight. But I'll leave you with this, with the holler speaks.
You better listen.
No! No! Hey!
To be clear, not a single court, not a single judge agreed that the election results were invalid or should be invalidated. Instead, court after court reviewing these challenges said these cases were, quote, not credible, without merit, based on nothing but speculation. The judiciary resoundingly rejected Trump's fraud allegations and upheld the election results.
Am I imagining things?
The court said these cases were different. They were dangerous to our democracy. For example, in an opinion by the United States District Court Judge Matthew Graham from Pennsylvania, he said, and I quote, "This court has been presented with strained legal arguments without merit and speculative accusations. In the United States of America, this cannot justify the disenfranchisement of a single voter, let alone all the voters of its sixth most populated state. Our people and laws and institutions demand more. Because this court has no authority to take away the right to vote of even a single person, let alone millions of citizens, we cannot grant plaintiffs' requested relief." That decision by Judge Gore was affirmed on appeal by Judge Stephanos Beavis, a Trump appointee who agreed.
Grab a cover!
The campaign
He's killing our fucking crew! This your day to die!
Plus, tossing out millions of ballots would be drastic. And a huge swath of the electorate, setting all down ballot races. End quote. Similarly, the Eastern District of Michigan claimed it.
Open up, bitch! This here's the last day of your mission!
Open up, bitch. Like, really, bro?
Dignity and hope and a promise of a vote participated in the 2020 general election. Donald Trump told his supporters they are stealing the election and took away your vote. It's rigged. That was not true. According to judge after judge, the truth was exactly the opposite. Trump was not suing to ensure election integrity. He was pursuing lawsuits that would, in effect, strip away American votes so that he could win. In other words, Donald Trump was asking the judiciary to take away votes from Americans so that he could steal the election for himself. Then, after losing the vote reports, Trump turned to another tack, pressuring the election officials. You can't in Michigan after Trump attacked the state. His supporters surrounded the Secretary of State's home. On November 17th, the Board of Canvassers for Wayne County, Michigan, home to Detroit, unanimously certified the election results for Biden. That same night, after their vote to certify the results, Trump called the two Republican members of that board, pressuring them to change their minds. The call worked. The next day, both Monica Palmer and William Hartman, the Republican board members, attempted to rescind their vote to certify Michigan's election results, but they couldn't. President Trump didn't stop there. He then contacted Majority Leader of the Michigan Senate, Mike Sherman, and the Speaker of the Michigan House, Lee Chatfield, to lobby them to overturn Michigan's results. Trump invited Mr. Chatfield and Mr. Sherman to Washington from the White House, where the president lobbied them further. Let's be clear. Donald Trump was hosting them at the White House, urging them to defy the voters in their state, and instead overruled votes. The officials were strong.
I'll get the boys down here. I got the front. Should have kept it. Took off.
This was a gathering attended meeting I have to tell you as a former state legislator, a lot of policy hearings.
Maybe I should look over there.
To say with some confidence.
There he is! Run, rabbit, run!
The President of the United States will not have come into a state legislative policy.
Time to die, prick!
Here is the President of
We all get a piece of him, but I'm first. I'm gonna piss on your corpse and fuck your mother.
Wow, bro. Disrespectful.
Goddamn shooting gallery.
Talk about my mama like that. The fuck wrong with you, nigga? Fuck? Not my precious mother. Yeesh. Disrespectful bitch.
Mr. Rackles will let his family receive death threats. Quote, your husband deserves to face a firing squad. Your life depends upon it. Your husband's mother should be put on trial for
They dead, nigga.
execution. Some of the threats they received. After the attack on October 25th, Mr. Rackles wrote a letter where he said, my family voted for Trump, donated to him, and are now being thrown under the bus by the law. But he also noted elections are the bedrock of our democracy. They need to be won fairly and perhaps more importantly, impartially. That's not partisan. That's just American. It's important to remember that this wasn't just a random attack.
I'm done.
They're saying he didn't agree.
The only one alive.
He was savagely attacking a Secretary of State because the official did his job and certified the state according to how the people in that state voted. Donald Trump was trying to undermine our elections by taking votes away from the American people so that he could remain president. And he was willing to blame or betray anyone, even his own supporters, if they got in the way. Remember, senators, those threats were to Mr. Rackel's brother's family.
Good God, bro. That's
So some may say Trump didn't know his attacks against Mr. Rackel's brother would result in death threats. Except that all of these was very public. The Secretary published his op-ed in USA Today. And major networks, including Fox, covered the threats against the Rackel's family. What did Trump do? Did he stop? Did he say, no, supporters, that isn't what I meant? No, he didn't do that. Let's see
what it is. Sorry, black man.
Let that sink in. A Republican public servant doing his job, whose family had just received death threats, and the President of the United States labeled him an enemy of the people. And that's why this is different, because this was not just one attack or one comment. This was attack after attack in the face of clear threats of violence. And on December 1st, another official, Gabriel Sterling, a Republican who voted for Trump, made this point and appealed directly to our president to stop his dangerous conduct.
Mr. President, it looks like you're making the right decision. We're investigating the possibility of being the rights to go to the courts. What you've got to do, though, is really step up and say this. Is stop what you have people to do things right now.
Oh, parked on the other side, huh?
Mr. Sterling put this perfectly. In this country, we can appropriately challenge a close count. We go to the courts, or disagree with others, or make bold statements. Just doing is different. Someone's going to get hurt. Someone's going to get shot. Someone's going to get killed. Mr. Sterling saw what his conduct was preventing. He warned it on live TV that violence was already happening and that more violence was foreseeable. And Sterling's pleas were played over and over on every network. Rather than move that line, Trump escalated again. In late December, Trump called Brian Kemp, the governor of Georgia, and pressured him to hold a special session of the state legislature to overturn the election results and to approve electors who would vote for Trump. A few weeks later, on December 23rd, Trump called the chief investigator for the Georgia election would be a new Trump hero if he did. Let's call this what it is. He was asking the official to say there was evidence of fraud when there wasn't any. The official refused, and the investigation was completed. And on December 29th, Roethlisberger announced that the audit found, quote, no fraudulent absentee ballots with a 99% confidence rate. On January 3rd, Trump tweeted out a call to the election official the day before. He said, and I quote, I spoke to Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger yesterday about Fulton County and rural flood in Georgia. He was unwilling or unable to answer questions such as what's under the table scam, destruction, state voters, dead voters, and more. He has no clue. On January the 5th, the Washington Post released a reporting of that fraud, which had occurred on January 2nd. Remember, just 2 days before
Ooh, a Jeep.
Here is what President Trump said.
It's more illegal for you than it is for them. Because you know what they did and you're not reporting it. That's just taking a look at criminal life. And you know, you can't let that happen. That's a big risk. To you as a lawyer, that's a big risk.
Let's be clear. This is the President of the United States telling a Secretary of State that if he does not find votes, he will face criminal penalties. And not just any number of votes. Donald Trump was asking the Secretary of State to somehow find the exact number of votes Donald Trump lost the state. Remember, President Biden won Georgia by 11,779 votes. In his own words, Trump said, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes. He wanted the Secretary of State to somehow find the precise number plus one so that he could win. Here's what he said.
All I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 which is the one that we have.
He said that the President of the United States telling a public official to manufacture the exact votes needed so he can win. Got it again! Senators, we must not become numb to this. Trump did this across state after state. So loudly.
What? Got it again! Shit, we're getting shot at here! Got him from the bottom of my ass! Hey,
Come on. $93, okay. It's alright, I didn't pick up no money yet. It's all good. Oh man.
Went through President Trump's efforts to overturn the election through the courts, and when that started failing, this deeply disturbing attacks on state and local officials. I'm going to walk through President Trump's extraordinary efforts remaining until January 6th, when he tried
Oh, they moved it?
to overturn the election. First, I highlight that
Wee doggy.
It's like Christmas coming. Hey, hey, over here. Some bitch, I'm hurt. Can't budge it. Gotta change meds. Grenade's gonna blow. I got this. Oh, guys like this. I'll be over here. Hey, watch for the splashback. Goddamn ball. Shoot. You fuckers.
President Trump was telling you that you owe him. That even if you hand over the results, he will never forget, and that there will be consequences. These are threats, just like the threats he made to state and local officials. And they continued. On December 29th, President Trump tweeted, "Can you imagine the Republicans how hell will they go? The Republican leadership only wants a path of least resistance. Leaders, not realtors, but pathetic. They only know how to lose. Yes. Many senators and congressmen and congresswomen do elected. I do believe they forget. President Trump targeted senators and members of Congress on social media, calling them pathetic for letting the election get, quote, stolen from them.
There's one more racist ass truck.
2 days before they passed, President Trump tweeted, "The social caucus within the Republican Party will go down heavily as weak and ineffective guardians of our nation, who are willing to accept the certification of fraudulent presidential members." Now he's mocking some Republican members as his surrender caucus, calling them weak and ineffective guardians of our nation, because they would not pretend that he had won, when in fact he had not. And then, the very day before they happened, President Trump's threats were even more heated and specific towards Republicans that he considered to be part of that surrender caucus. Now, we've shown you this tweet before, but I want to draw your attention to how the president was not just inciting his base, but how he was also calling out specific some Republicans at the end of
Really?
the tweet. This is a specific warning to anyone who won't have him overturn the results. Anyone who was against the president became an enemy. Let me be very clear. The president's election was made out of you, the Democratic and Republican senators. He was coming for all of us, just as the mob did at his election. In addition to going after senators and members of Congress, President Trump also pressured Justice Department to investigate the false claims that the election was stolen. At the president's direction, Attorney General William Barr, a lawyer member of the president's cabinet, authorized federal prosecutors to pursue substantial allegations of voting and vote tabulation irregularities. Pursuing these allegations sparked an outcry. 16 assistant
Let's see what this mess is all about.
urged Attorney General to cease investigations because they had not seen evidence.
Oh, okay.
That means they did not find any evidence of real fraud. Attorney General pursued the investigations anyways, and after his investigation, this is what he found. Quote, "We have not seen fraud on a scale that could have affected..."
And I could soup them up. Okay, I got it.
December 14th, the electors voted to give Joe Biden 306 electoral votes and ensure his victory.
Bonjour, bro. Talk about my peoples like that. But fresh off their boat or off their plane.
Everything you want in luxury lodging and more. A royal hotel where the views will
literally take your breath away. We're falling behind here. Chop, chop, let's go. We got a schedule to keep.
Behind closed doors, President Trump applied significant pressure to his second-in-command. Local reports confirm that President Trump used his personal
Would you just move on?
officials to pressure the vice president. Trump reportedly told almost anyone to also call the vice president. According to reports, the White House was in the Oval Office. President Trump would call people to try to get them to ask the vice president to help him. And President Trump kept repeating the message. Certification to his base behavior, hoping to intimidate the President Trump tweeted
see here. Take off.
Take him outside! There! There, you see him? Need to reload! Forward! Shit! I'm pinned in! Goddamn shooting gallery! Yeah, you see him? I spotted him! Fuck, is he gone? Maybe you can find him.
I spotted something. Ah, he's over here, you bunch of... He's cutting us down.
Oh, sorry, baby girl. Let me shot a lady. Thank God she didn't die.
God damn it! Move!
listen. And because of truth, I am confident today speaking before you. Because truth and facts are overwhelming for election. My fellow managers have shown and will continue to show clear evidence that President Trump incited a violent mob to storm our Capitol when he ran out of non-white moves to stop the election.
I left my windows there.
Once assembled, that mob, at the president's direction, erupted into the bloodiest attack on this Capitol since 1814. Some of you have said there's no way the president could have known how violent the mob would be.
I don't know. I think she's sweet on old puppy.
It's just
Poor kid.
because the
She don't even know half the ways he's sick on fuck.
foreseeable.
Wonder if somebody should warn her. Nah.
This violence was foreseeable.
Let's see how it all plays out.
Any other politician just telling their fighters, their supporters, to fight for something. The violence that occurred on January 6th,
Huh?
like the attack itself, did not just appear. You'll see that Donald Trump knew the people he was
That's fine.
inciting. He saw the violence that they were
I want to know what you assholes are doing at the dump.
After what you did, those twisted motherfuckers are hunting your ass down. Ain't no way you can shake them.
You answer to me.
was not planned in secret. The insurgents believed that they were doing the duty of their president. They were following his orders. And so they publicized it openly, loudly, proudly, except blueprints of how the attack would be made. Law enforcement saw these postings and reported that these insurgents would violently attack the Capitol itself. This was not just a comment by an official to fight for a cause. This was months of cultivating a base of people who were violent, craving that violence, and then leading that violence that way straight for it. The thing is this. At the time he called the cavalry his thousands of supporters on January 6th, he had confided them to, he had every reason to know that they were armed, that they were violent, and that they were pure violent. He knew who he was calling and the violence they were capable of. And he still gave that marching orders to go to the Capitol and quote, drop hell and stop the steal. Make no mistake. The violence was not just foreseeable to President Trump. The violence was deliberately encouraged. As early as September, Trump said to President that when asked to denounce violence, he would do the opposite and encourage it. Now, the President had only said something more
Get out of here! Run!
and violence erupted, there would be no way to know he intended to incite it.
Really? Weak ass car, bro.
Spreading his people in the election. He also spent months cultivating groups of people who, following his command, repeatedly engaged in real, dangerous violence. And they did. When the violence erupted,
Come on. Wow, this car sucks.
You'll see this over time. These very groups and individuals whose violence the president praised helped lead the attack on January 6th. And that's how we know clearly that President Trump deliberately incited this, and how we know he saw it coming. There are many examples where the president engaged in this pattern, and I'm just going to walk you through a few of them. Let's start with the president's Trump's incitement of the Proud Boys. Many of you have heard of this group, which since 2018 has been classified by the FBI as an extremist organization. Since that classification, the group has repeatedly engaged in serious acts of violence, including at pro-Trump rallies. And one such act, on September 6th,
some action.
the boys attacked a man with a baseball bat, and then punched him in his death.
Move your ass! The boys down here! Hands for cover! Holy shit, it's a grenade!
Specifically,
I get the skirt when I want. I get the skirt when I want.
Hello there.
How you doing?
My, am I pleased to see you. Move.
Move! On the cop. I'll kick
All units, negative visual on suspect. Begin search in immediate vicinity. units. Pursuit is called off. Abandon search and return to patrols. Repeat, pursuit is called off. Abandon search and return to patrols.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir.
Hello, dear listeners. It's Remy Duval here with an important message. When friends and family come to town and they need accommodations, I always send them to the same wonderful place, the Royal Hotel, located conveniently in downtown New Bordeaux. Sure, it's elegant and luxurious, but hey, that's to be expected. What's more important is the warm, friendly service you find at the Royal. It's everything you want in luxury lodging and more. The Royal Hotel, where the views will literally take your breath away.
the floor! That's what I call fun.
Holy shit, you really been to work on Santini's business. They're gonna be moving guns anytime soon.
Sometimes the city goes crazy, but it always settles down.
All right.
You think you're better than me? You ain't better than me! You hear me? You hear me?
Hello, dear listener. This is Remy Duvall here. Are we experiencing a colored crime wave? Well, I'll be joined by new Bordeaux Police Chief Earl Wilson, who'll tell us what he's doing to keep us safe and what we can do to help. That's new Bordeaux Police Chief Earl Wilson on Native Son. Native Son!
I want to unload some cash in Barclay.
Sure thing, Cher. Heading your way now.
What can I take off your hands?
Better not lose this.
Guess our business is done here.
There! Get him! I'll put you down. Grab some cover. Don't you know you're dead? Too late to run now, boy! Hey, move it! Tug! Reloaded! Cocksucker! Run up a cover! Shit! Fucking stuck!
Say goodnight to the asshole.
Oh, got it! Get over here! I ain't going out. Let me at him. I ain't going out like that. Found it. Stay behind me.
Run up for cover. Just you and me now. Say what you gotta say.
Locked up in my room. I know to you it might sound strange, but I wish it would rain.
You better be fucking in just that.
He's a sick son of a bitch.
You've really done a number on the dump. Scared the hell out of everybody. Mr. Simmons let me go today.
You sound happy about it.
Apparently they're having trouble with the business and he can't afford to pay me. But truth be told, I'm glad to be out of there, away from that place.
Is Puppy at the dump now?
Yeah, why? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna kill him?
All depends on Puppy. I'll be seeing you, Maria.
I'm still not sure what Mr. Simmons got himself into.
I'm sitting there with my drop license in hand, and he proceeds
World War II Medal of... Loved that park in a holler back when I was a boy. Always rode the Ferris wheel.
All right.
I can't see how people live.
Holy shit, you really been to work on Santini's business. He ain't gonna be moving guns anytime. God damn, you make an impression, boy. Didn't mean no offense by that. Listen, It's not setting well with Santini that people think they don't have to pay for protection. And it sounds like no one trusts him to deliver on gun deals like usual.
Imagine that's got him pretty pissed off.
Got him, Enzo, and Marcano looking weak. Going over to the train yard. Santini's there now trying to figure out what the hell he's gonna do.
Been fun, Connie. Keep it tucked up out there.
If you don't get to Santini, Marcano will. Might as well put the poor bastard out of his misery.
How you doing?
You're out of your mind!
Yeah, he waited until he had me in cuffs to start talking shit. The fucking pig said he could shoot me dead if he wanted to, and come out of it being called.
No phone.
Heard Mr. Santini got here not too long ago. He pissed?
Is he pissed? Goddamn right he's pissed. Christ, do you know how much money he makes off of those trains? Took a baseball bat to Little Eddie. Holy shit, that's a corpse! Another body! We got
You
hit him from the other side.
Now you're done!
I'm in.
We got ourselves...
Fine, you cocksucker!
Find that cunt.
Cocksucker! Stay behind me! Oh, hell. Give me a minute. Cock... I'm hit!
Get around him! Let's shoot some shit up. Got you now, dipshit.
Too late to run now, boy! Take cover!
Hey.
You ain't that slide, kid.
Get there, stupid. Gotta move.
I'll get the boys down here. Got him. Get over here. Follow my lead, boys.
We getting shot up. All set to take him
down
out.
here. He's picking steel. Shoot him. Yeah, sure. I'm stuck. Give me a...
Should have kept your head down.
Time to fuck you up. Motherfucker. I'm pinned down.
See my boy distract me and cost me $5,000. Good God.
This is what he said. We're going to the Capitol. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. And that's why this is different. And that's why he must be convicted and disqualified.
back, bro. Do your thing, boys. Do your thing.
I'm looking for some backup. My pal Vito says y'all are some bad motherfuckers.
Well, Vito ain't wrong. In fact, he's very, very right. And we got some time to give you a hand.
His last-ditch effort to retain his hold on the
I'll get the boys down here.
Make a hole. Keep that cocksucker pinned down.
We're getting shot up. Get down here.
He's picking us up.
He's out of ammo.
Oh, fuck. I'm hit.
Really, bro? Can't blame no one for that one. That was all me.
I want to unload some cat.
Sure thing, Cher. Heading your way now.
Should have done that first.
All right. What do we have? Okay, I'm good to go.
Anything you want here? Show me what you got.
Use it. It's in good health. I'm heading out.
The gas masks filtering the air. The chamber of the United States House of Representatives turned to chaos. For Donald Trump, it was a very different day. Earlier, I showed you Donald Trump's desperate attempts to maintain power, ignoring adverse court rulings, attacking elected officials, pressuring his Justice Department, even attacking his own vice president. You saw a man who refused to lose, who was desperate to retain power by any means necessary.
Need some shooters to hit a target in Barclay.
Of course. Be there soon.
And you saw a man who thought he could play by different rules. He told his supporters, as my colleague
What the hell y'all got in, boys? Game, man.
This was not just one speech. This was weeks and weeks of deliberate effort by Donald Trump to overturn the election results so that he didn't have to give up the presidency.
Let's run! Behind you!
Lost another one. God damn it! He got me jumped.
It's all yours, boys. Got nowhere to go. Fucker, unload on him for fuck's sake! Now keep him from moving. Winged him. Can't be happening. This ain't right. You know, I really thought I could make this work.
Guess you were wrong.
And the timing was no coincidence. He sent 34 tweets because this was his last chance to
Oh, in Barclay?
before the big, historic, wild event
Fuck.
he had planned. Now, I won't go through all of these tweets, but let me just highlight a few. At 1 in the morning, he tweeted,
Send whoever you can to Barclay Mills. I ain't letting this place go.
Of course, brother. They'll be there soon.
Just a look familiar to you. Mr. Trump just showed you how Trump had privately, he was pressuring and publicly attacking his vice president to stop the certification. And when Vice President Pence refused, when he explained that the Constitution simply does not allow him to stop certification, Donald Trump provoked his base to attack him. The late in the evening tweet was no different. It just got more forceful. Let's be clear, what Donald Trump was saying...
Why'd I become a priest?
The certification was not true. One thing all 50 states...
Every bad thing you experience, every trauma, they never leave you. Sure, you might forget about them for a while, but when the next one comes along, no matter how slight, it brings everything back. It reminds you of the weight of lugging around. I knew I couldn't carry all that on my own.
At 8:17 a.m. he tweeted, all Mike Pence has to do is send it back to them and put it back to the states, and we win. Even the speakers who warmed up the crowd for Trump were members of his inner circle, family members, his personal...
Quiet, bro.
People President Trump had deputized to speak on his behalf. Some of the speakers also spoke at the second Million MAGA march, which resulted in serious violence. One of the acts was ripping victory away from them. And the speakers told them what to do about it. As the crowd erupted for a fight for Trump, chants throughout that morning, Donald Trump Jr. urged. That's the message. These guys better fight for Trump. The speakers lasted 3 hours, repeating President Trump's message, and finally, at about noon, Donald Trump took the stage with the seal of the presidency on his podium and the White House as his backdrop. President Trump spoke for more than 7 minutes. His narrative was familiar. It was the same message he had spent months spreading to his supporters. The big lie. The election was stolen. That they should never concede.
Slip me a Zanny at once. I got the girl from the blood.
Trying to get past the midweek hump? Come out to the French Ward. It's your Uncle Lou Marcano here, letting you know that every night is the weekend in the French Ward, home of the 4 o'clock happy hour. That's right. Historic landmarks like the Mystic and the 800 Club will be offering discount drink specials Monday through Thursday, every week. Can you believe that? And if you see me out and about, just say hello. I might just buy you a whiskey. Only in the French Ward.
Go to town and marry, buying up the joint. You claim he has a misery, but he having a lot of fun, oh baby. Yes, baby. Woo, baby. They're having me some fun tonight. Yeah. Well, long tall salad sheet, Bill Speech guy, everything that Uncle John need, oh baby. Yes, baby.
I want to unload some cash in Barclay.
Hold your horses. I'll get to you.
Your money's always safer with me.
You're blocking the road. So, you know the new kid, right?
The one walking the door? Terry?
Yeah, Pete's kid. What's he like? Got a temper? Anything like that?
He's got a brain. You can see the wheels turning. But get him in a fight, and he doesn't give a fuck. You got a problem?
With him? No. Wish we had 10 more like him. But you know his old man.
Shit. How much do you owe this time?
Enough that we're having this talk. It's going down tonight.
Shit. Hey, you!
What?
Eyes on the asshole. Fire it.
Just get to the phone.
Cover me.
Don't you know you're...
I ain't going out like that.
This is nobody's fault but yours.
He's empty.
Gotta hunker down.
Jesus, motherfucker.
Hey, ain't your birthday coming up?
Christ, don't fucking remind me.
You look great.
No, I look like shit.
No, seriously, you look good. Like if I was one of...
I want to unload some cash.
Be there soon.
you done? He's reloading. Little pissant. Hey! Come here, damn it. Running for cover! We'll leave what's left you to my dogs! Now let me move! Open up, bitch! You about to get fucked! Ass worries, asshole. Help me out here! I'm here! Get that fucker off me!
I blame my phone calls for this. I got a second phone call. I blame my phone calls for this, bro.
I put in 10 hours yesterday. 10. I didn't get into this business to work my ass off. So what are you gonna do? File a complaint? Hey, my uncle is tied with Sal. Maybe he could put in a word. Good luck with that. Kiss my ass. Yeah. With all that's going on here, I'm sure Sal Marcano's biggest concern right now is keeping poor little Joey happy. You telling me you like working like this? These alternative.
Trespass!
Better call for help!
Time to dive, prick. We got ourselves. How do you like that?
I'm fucking you over here! Cutting us down! I see him! There he is! Taking cover! Cutting us down! Oh, shit!
Stay out of my way. I can't feel. Oh, you got me. Oh,
This is the way
oh. I can't move.
Dale, cut that sack of shit down. Hit him from the other side. Got nowhere to go. Open up, bitch. You about to get fucked.
Fuck me. I'm gonna fucking die in a dump.
Wish there was another way. I need some of your boys in Barclay Mills.
Putting us in there gives us a foothold on the district. All you gotta do is make it official at the next sit-down.